So we will discuss this study in class, so be sure that you read the Fiataroni et al. 1999 study and why this was such an important study. And so be prepared to bring that to class. So let's look at balance exercises once again, since this is so important for older adults, some of the things that you can do. So we want to reduce the base of support. So progression, so if you keep your center of gravity over your base of support, you're in balance. So anytime that is disturbed, then that's going to change your balance. And so, two-legged stands, so the wider stance somebody has, the better their balance. So big steps, really sort of walking over the crack of the sidewalk, big steps. So anything that's going to help them perturb their balance. Again, anything that's going to do the center of gravity. So some sort of little agility class. Some cones like we did the other day, some diagonal steps, walk, stop, having them start, stop, change direction. So doing some sort of group fitness activity, some sort of bending to retrieve a dropped object, doing postural, heel stands, toe stands. Some students, former students have said you'd be very surprised how challenging that is. So how can they move their postural muscle groups? How can they strengthen their core in order to maintain their balance? And so just even something like heel stands and toe stands, they said you would be amazed how quickly people get out of balance doing those activities. Okay, so senses, touch, good grip. So, walking without devices. So try to improve that. Vision, making eye contact, vestibular input, for people who have, inner ear issues, that's really going to be tricky. So looking up and down, that's going to help maintain their balance. So sensory input, walking on grassy surface or rocky surfaces, brick sidewalk, those type of surfaces. So anything that's going to maybe have them, change the surface. So BOSU, some people don't really, do okay with that. Maybe a thicker exercise mat might be better, and then maybe you could progress them and work them up to using something like a BOSU. They also tend to not like the exercise balls. And it's often because their balance is poor. So that is another thing that you can do is, have them at least sit on the exercise ball. How do you incorporate balance, balance and mobility? So you can look at this table. So, doing some seated exercises. So using the stationary ball, resistance training is also going to involve balance if they're using free weights and if they're using their body weight. Medicine balls, getting them. So that's also going to help as well. Dancing, aerobics, anything that involves changes of direction, changes of speed, turns, all of those are going to help. Flexibility training. As we said, there are definitely, everybody needs to work on flexibility, especially older adults. Minimum 2 days a week, FITT, but daily if people really have problems with flexibility. Use, static stretching. You can do dynamic stretching. People are active. We demonstrated the PNF, so the hold, relax. So make sure that you're doing the, exercises and stretching the major muscle groups, especially where people who walk or do other activities tend to get tight. The hamstrings, the calves, the hip flexors, the quadriceps, the shoulders, as we experienced the other day. You want to use stretches that are effective and safe for them, so they're probably not going to need to do high-intensity ballistic stretches. And as we've talked about too, that yoga, tai chi, all of those are probably going to do pretty well. And so they're also going to not only hit flexibility, they're also going to focus on the neuromotor and balance training.